Welcome to Hearts and Stripes, your one-stop shop for all things military marriage. I hope our discussions and interviews equip you with the tools to start or grow a beautiful marriage as we address the benefits and challenges of marriage. I believe life's most precious moments are worth celebrating, so I'll help you design your marriage blueprint in alignment with your core values. Thank you for joining us, and remember to rate, subscribe, and review. Let's do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hearts and Stripes. We are here with another wrap-up session with the fabulous Jennifer Brantley. I am so grateful to have her on, having a little girl talk, chatting about some past episodes, some highlights from Hearts and Stripes podcast. And today we're going to talk about episode 8, which featured Terrica, which was entitled Tap Into Your Magic. And I absolutely love this episode. One, because Terrica is my big sister mentor. Y'all heard in the episode, she is an OG from Cocktails and Details. And I'm going to just chat a little bit here with you all. Jennifer and I, we're going to chat with you about your magic and what our takeaways and biggest lessons learned were from that episode. So Jennifer, what did you think about the interview with Terrica?
Well, I think Terrica is phenomenal. First of all, it was amazing to hear her speak about coming from the ground up and building what she's built over, I think, the last 15 years in the wedding industry. And I love how transparent she was about that and the fact that it took her time to kind of build this up, because we see what we think are overnight success stories, not knowing what happened in the background. We have no idea what happened in the background. So that was wonderful. And then, when she spoke about how, starting over and likening, because I don't think she's a military spouse, but likening herself being put in this new situation, in this new city, to PCSing, and how starting over does not necessarily mean, I think you may have said it, that you're losing something.
Right.
It's a new opportunity to tap into your magic and to figure out, what is it that I need to do? What is it that I'm called to do? What is my magic?
Absolutely. And I think that's what I really loved about that interview as well. If I may, the heart track for Terrica's episode is definitely going to be started from the bottom. But she was really transparent about one, making the decision to go from practicing law, right, into going into the wedding industry, and then her being just a new person, a new kid on the block, if you will, when it comes to an industry that she wasn't familiar with. And she just really stayed determined and continued to shine right where she was planted. And I think any military spouse, woman in the military, active duty person, servant, you understand that better than anywhere else. You have to shine and grow and bloom wherever you are planted. And I think the key really in doing that is knowing who you are, really, because I feel like our situations and circumstances may change at the drop of a hat. If the Air Force wants us to go, we going. Right. But if you don't know and have that confidence built up within yourself, and as you can hear from Terrica talking, she's very confident. I know that was developed with time, but I think each and every one of us have to tap into that personal self-confidence, knowing yourself and being able to shine and put in the work to grow whatever it is that you may want to grow. Maybe it's being an even better homemaker. Again, It doesn't have to be tied to a career or an entrepreneurial venture. Goodness, come on, words. But it is something that we have to tap into so that we can show up better. And I love that message that she had. Each and every one of us has magic within us, and we are doing the world a disservice if we are covering that light that each and every one of us have.
And I think you actually posted something similar to that recently. The world is looking out on you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was from the episode with Rochelle Malone. She has an amazing story. I don't know if y'all heard that episode. Go ahead and go back and listen. She has a jaw-dropping story of her marriage. And That episode educated people on gaslighting. And the reason why I love Rochelle so much, if I could just segue real quick, I love her so much because the amount of grace that she takes with telling the story of how someone intentionally put her in a mental institution. And she still came out like, I understand that why he did that, because he was a narcissist, and because I lacked education or I lacked knowledge of what was going on. That is why I went through this thing, but she came out better, ma'am.
Wow.
She is a powerful person. I love that she is a fellow coach and does so much. And that's what I really loved about Hearts and Stripes podcast, talking with Terrica, talking with women like Rochelle, talking with women like you. Come on, Jennifer. It is awesome to hear how we are all able to tap into our magic and really shine and bloom and grow where we are planted. Yeah, we go through some things in this military life. We will have people questioning us and what we do and put out into the world. People who do not believe in us, people who just want us to be a stereotypical version of, or give us whatever type of role or whatever stereotype that they want to place upon us. But I think we, have the choice to choose to accept that, or to say that that's not me, and stand up and say, this is my magic, this is me.
Yes, absolutely. I absolutely agree. And like you said, in terms of figuring out what that magic is, I think you likened it to what is like the air that you breathe. What is that thing that no matter what you try to do, you can't get rid of it. You can't not do it.
Yes, exactly. It's like it comes so naturally to you. That's your magic. And I think oftentimes people want that to show up a certain type of way.
Right.
Like you may be someone who loves books, for example. I think that's the similar example I used in that episode. You may love books and you can digest the information in a certain type of way, and or see corrections and errors that are within a manuscript or something. And but that might not be the sexy thing, right? That's not what people are saying, like that. Oh, this is amazing. Ma'am, you could be an editor out here. You can be, share your magic in a way that you personally enjoy, but it just comes so naturally to you. Me, look, editing and reading manuscripts and spell check is my friend, and that's just not me. That's not my magic, right? So I feel like comparing one person to another is not fair when it comes to really tapping into your magic, because it is unique and special, and it's purpose just for you. So Jennifer, kind of share a little bit of how you were able to kind of tap into your magic individually, and why it's essential to do that prior to approaching like a marriage relationship.
Well, I think first of all, you have to do it before you get into any kind of relationship, because again, it's about identity. And if you don't know who you are, how in the world will you know who you are in a marriage? We talk a lot about losing ourselves in marriage, and that's a good way to do it if you don't know who you are to begin with, right?
Absolutely.
And as you grow and as you tap into your magic, so too will your marriage grow. You grow together, and then you also grow individually. Don't be afraid to grow individually.
Yes.
I think a lot of people think that equates to growing apart, but it's not. As long as you're simultaneously growing together and purposefully doing things to grow together. Like I went to my husband, and I'm getting off topic a little bit, but
you're fine.
But he's a chaplain, and sometimes he expends all of his chaplain energy outside of the home. And I had to kind of say, I don't want chaplain Brantley necessarily, but let's make a more conscious effort to do our devotional more regularly together. And grow together, tap into the magic of our relationship that way, by making sure our connection with God is strong together, but also continuing to grow individually. So we both have our own thing. I'm still, independent.
Right.
But that's why I think it's important. And in terms of being able to tap into my own magic, I think it was a lot of trial and error, but I always kind of knew innately what I was good at, and what I derived joy from. And so like with me having a podcast. I know I love public speaking. I know I love helping people.
Right.
I know I want to be transparent as Jennifer and letting other people into, my personal struggle, to let them know that they're not alone. And that gives me
Right.
that platform and allows me to use, a gift that I believe God has given me. And so, but it was a matter of trial and error, and sometimes feeling like maybe I wasn't good enough or not meant to do this. And I think you have to remember that too, that it may not, your magic comes naturally, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But figuring out what that magic is, what your purpose is not necessarily going to just
Fall in your lap.
yeah,
I
just
agree.
fall in your lap.
I agree. I really do believe that, and that is a part of my story. You have to do the work in tapping into your magic. And I love that you talked about just being a public speaker. That's something that you've always loved to do, and you do it a great job, especially on your podcast, the Discarded Podcast. Please go ahead and hit subscribe if you haven't already. But it does take work. It's not going to fall into your lap. I think you have to be still in some moments, and you have to be okay with being alone sometimes, so that you are able to recognize what your magic is. And here we go. Let's take it a step further. Would Terrica have even been able to tap into that magic had she not moved to this location that put her in some level of isolation? I feel like as spouses, oftentimes, and military members, we are put in these different situations and which are foreign to us, and it gives us unique opportunities to shine. And I think if we can just embrace these different locations, these different opportunities, then we might surprise ourselves. There is always going to be a common thread that is Jennifer, or a common thread that is Bree, but situations will kind of help build upon that thread, that identity piece that is you, to kind of help you level up every time. And I love how you say you have to continue to grow individually, and then that way your marriage can then grow collectively, right? Independent, but still united in love.
There
So
you go.
it is definitely something that I completely agree with. I never liked the terminology. I found my better half. Like, I'm not a half.
I'm
Like,
a whole.
I'm a whole. And especially in these day and ages, you will not be counting any person as a percentage. We will be counted wholly as people. And I think you really have to let these concepts sink in and do the work so that you can show up whole, not just for your marriage, but for yourself.
Absolutely.
Did you miss the Work for Wealth webinar? What are you doing? It's okay. I wanted to make sure that as many people as possible had the opportunity to check out the masterclass all about mobile careers for military spouses and fulfillment. So you can head on over to bcarolevents.com/work and check out the replay for the Work for Wealth webinar. Let me tell you what you missed. So we broke down so many different things. I highlighted 8 different mobile career fields that military spouses commonly overlook. We talked about the benefits of a dual income. We talked about how to mind your business or make decisions when it comes to the best interest of your family. And we talked about the key to success as we work for wealth. You are not going to want to miss out on the webinar. So please check out the replay. And there is a very special offer at the end that I want you guys to listen up closely to, because it could be the solution to a need that you have now or in the future. Check it out. Work for Wealth webinar, the replay at bcarolevents.com/work. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to rate, subscribe, and review. This is Hearts and Stripes. We are the few, the proud, that aim high and are forged by love. Always ready, always there. We are Mill Marriage Strong.